The story of Tataka. While crossing the river Ganga, Rama and Lakshmana heard a continuous and tumultuous sound caused by the striking of waves against one another in the middle of the river. Vishwamitra explained it as the meeting point of river Sarayu with river Ganga. The river Sarayu originated from the Manasa Sarovar, a lake at Mount Kailasa. Hence, it got the name Sarayu, that which came from the Saras or lake. It went round Ayodhya and was joined by Ganga at that sacred place. Sri Rama and Lakshmana offered salutations to the two rivers at their confluence. After crossing the Ganga, they reached the southern bank. Sage Vishwamitra and the two princes made their way through a different and difficult deserted forest infested with crickets, vultures, and wild animals. These places were earlier known as Maladas or Karusas, where Indra, who had a Brahma Hatya Papa, which means he sinned killing a Brahmin in that particular place, but it was cleansed by the Devas with the sacred water of the river. Getting rid of his sin, Lord Indra blessed these lands to become prosperous, said sage Vishwamitra. In due course, the place became the haunting place of Tataka, the daughter of Suketu, who was the king of the Yakshas, and her son Maricha, who were monsters with terrible powers. They wrought havoc and changed this place into a dreadful wilderness. Vishwamitra continued the story and confessed that he actually brought Sri Rama and Lakshmana to get rid of the monster Tataka. Sri Rama actually wanted to know how a Yaksha woman became such a terror for mankind and how she wielded the strength of 1,000 elephants. Sage Vishwamitra then told the story of Tataka. Suketu was a great Yaksha leader who was powerful and performed great penance to Lord Brahma for progeny. He was blessed with a girl, Tataka, who was beautiful and had the strength of 1,000 elephants. Lord Brahma did not deliberately grant him a son of a kind desired by him, as it could be destroyer of the world that would be born if it was Suketu's son. She was married to Sundha, son of Jamba, and she begotten a son named Maricha. Sundha was killed by sage Agastya, and Tataka with Maricha ran towards sage Agastya to devour him. Seeing them rushing towards him, the mighty sage cursed Maricha to become a Rakshasa and cursed Tataka to forsake the body of a Yaksha beautiful woman and become a repulsive monster and a cannibal with fierce and repulsive body. Ever since then, she is ravaging this place and no one dares to come here to perform rituals. Vishwamitra continued, "You have to kill Tataka just now and rid the world of her adharma. For the good of the Brahmanas, O Rama, get rid of this most cruel Tataka of evil conduct and prevent valor. No man in this 3 worlds other than you dare kill this woman, who is made formidable by a cause. Of course, you may have some hesitations in killing a woman," said Vishwamitra, "but she is a danger to humanity, and as a prince and as the future king, it is your duty to protect Dharma by killing her. For in the interest of the 4 grades of the society, even a cruel deed has in any case to be perpetrated by a Kshatriya prince, as well as an act which is anything but cruel." He also quotes and says that there have been many instances in the past where women who were threats to Dharma had been killed in the past. Like Indra killed Manthara, daughter of Virochana, as she wanted to destroy the earth. And the wife of sage Brigu was killed by Vishnu, as she attempted to kill Indra himself. Therefore, shake off all your tenderness, Lord Rama, and dispatch her by my command. Saying this, sage Vishwamitra forced and made Rama attack Tataka. After slaying the demon, the gods praise Rama for this great act. Sri Rama spends the night there. After killing the demoness Tataka, he slept in the forest with his brother Lakshmana. The gods praise Rama for this great act, and he spent the night with his brother Lakshmana in the same forest. The forest becomes free from the influence of Tataka and any other demons, and by the presence of Sri Rama, the forest started shining like the garden of Chitraratha. Sri Rama received divine weapons. Pleased with the gentle disposition of this act, sage Vishwamitra confers various divine weapons to Sri Rama. These include Danda Chakra, Dharma Chakra, Kala Chakra, Vishnu Chakra, Indra Chakra, Brahmasura, and many more. Sage Vishwamitra also gives mantras to annul the missiles. So this was the story of the demon of the forest and how she was slayed by Lord Sri Rama. Sri Rama convinced himself as a Kshatriya prince it was his duty to protect the animals and the good people who lived in the kingdom for the welfare of the world. He realized it was his duty to destroy anyone who disturbed their work. Thinking of the lines shared by Vishwamitra, he strung his bow and fitted the arrows in it. He let out a big cry, calling out to Tataka, and Tataka got angry and deluded by the sound. Rama called Lakshmana to look at the gigantic, contoured, and fearsome form of the Yaksha woman. Rama was planning to only chop off her ears and hands and legs and allow her to go as she was a woman. On seeing the two brothers, Tataka roared in anger and charged towards Rama. Sage Vishwamitra gave a loud shout to encourage the brothers to charge towards her. There, they ensured a great battle between Rama and Tataka, and a big cloud of dust collected above them in the sky. She showered huge rocks and boulders on the brothers. They attempted advances with the rain of arrows. Rama dismembered her arms and Lakshmana freed her of her ears and nose. Capable of wielding magical powers, Tataka became invisible and continued to attack both the brothers. Now the sage sounded a warning to Sri Rama and said that it was soon going to be sunset and the Yakshi demon will become more powerful. And he warned Rama that he should not hesitate or think twice to kill this Rakshas. Though she was invisible, Rama had the capacity to attack hearing the direction of the sound. As she continued to shower boulders and the brothers returned them with arrows, Tataka was enraged. She appeared charging before Rama. He gave her one huge thumb shot on her chest and the demon fell down on the ground and died. Now all the gods from the heavens were watching this war, which went on for a long time, and they gathered there to congratulate the mighty accomplishment of the two brothers. Lord Indra made a special appearance to tell Vishwamitra to impart the knowledge of all the missiles and arrows and mantras to Sri Rama, who was just a 16-year-old boy then.